Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new hardware unboxing, the first one of the year. I may have said that the last year was going to be the last one made with this camera, but I sort of didn't take into account that I'm going to have to unbox this camera too. And here we have it, well, here and along with all sorts of other things like the carrying case. This is the SD card adapter, and this is the SD card itself. It's actually quite expensive, like it is quite a lot. We didn't get the 128 gig model because it was out of stock, which is, I'm okay with it. I mean, it was very expensive, so let's get a cheaper one. And this is the camera itself. This is the Panasonic DMC-FZ2000 Lumix kind of brand camera. We bought this thanks to the people on Steemit. Thanks to everybody that voted us on Steemit for the past couple of months. Thanks to people that have sponsored us on Patreon over the last couple of months. Thanks to you, we have actually managed to afford to buy an actual camera that doesn't film in interlaced mode. A camera that will actually work with green screens. A camera that can actually use to record higher quality video. It's not because we had success with YouTube revenue. I mean, even though we had some videos that, you know, have 8 million views. YouTube revenue is not what you would call good, but thanks to you, the ones that supported us, the ones that upvoted, the ones that interacted with us, we actually managed to afford this camera with a Leica lens. Now, I have no idea what kind of camera this is. It's a sort of camera that's an all-rounder, as you would say. It's made to work in pretty much any kind of situation. Doesn't have interchangeable lenses, though you can clamp on some other lenses to it. Let's see what this thing is actually. I think this is maybe the warranty. It's basically a point and shoot, if you will, but a really complicated one. And I mean, really complicated. It's got a manual about the size of well, my book. It's in multiple languages too, so it's a really complicated high-end camera. I would tell you how much it cost, but you may have a heart attack if I tell you. The packaging isn't all that impressive. I mean, it does have some padding to it, so it doesn't explode or something. So let's slowly take it out. Oh, it does have a lot of wrapping actually. Inside we also have the strap, which you can use to strap it to you so you don't lose or something. Also have inside the box. This is the cover for the well, for the lens, and so we don't get glare off the sun. Also have the battery charger, which is important. This does not have USB charging, so you do have to take out the battery and place it in the charger and then charge it like that. I'm gonna get a second battery. There it is. I'm gonna get. Oh, that's actually smaller than I thought it would be. It's so small. Like, I think my phone battery is bigger. I'm gonna get a second one just so I can have more juice when I try and film that bee thing, that bee documentary. This is the USB cable. It's used just for data transfer, so you won't have any issues with it and not charging through it because it's not meant to. And lastly, inside we have the power connector for the charger itself. Now, I'm actually got a bunch of stuff thanks to people on Steemit that kept upvoting us. Not just the carrying case, the camera, the memory card, and well, that. I also got a new tripod. You may notice that the image may be a bit taller than on the last video. That's because the new tripod can get really high, and it's amazing. It's in use now with the old camera. So let's take this out of the wrapping. I ordered this right after Christmas, and it just arrived now. Only after I asked the people at the company to actually make sure it was being sent to us, and here it is. Oh boy. I think I actually put their camera a bit too high because I'm having trouble actually looking up there to see if this is actually centered correctly. Let's take this out carefully. And voila, oh my god, this is heavy. Like, this weighs about 1 kilogram. I'm not kidding, this thing is actually quite heavy, and it's quite cool. I mean, it was just out. Oh boy, that's a big lens. Like, look at it. That's a gigantic lens compared to what our current camera has. Not gonna place the battery in and turn it on right now because it's still adjusting to the temperature of the interior, so I don't want it to short circuit or something because of condensation. But let's take a look at it a bit. So, why did I want this camera? Well, first and foremost, it's because of this. See, it has a flip-out screen that you can rotate, actually. So you can pretty much do anything you would want with it. It's a good screen. The only other alternative we had, according to the people I asked at the camera store, I mean the YouTube channel called the Camera Store, would have been the Sony CyberShot 4, which is a more advanced camera, but it is more expensive, and the screen just goes up and down and doesn't tilt to one side. So honestly, this was the only choice we had. Here you have the connectors for the HDMI out and the USB. It can output HDMI to a separate hardware recorder, so you have one that's dedicated. Like, you can't output it to a PC, I think. You need a separate kind of HDMI recorder that you can use that to actually output, I believe, 10-bit video from this to that recorder. So in case we want to do something funky further down the line, we can. This one, by the way, this camera does support the vlog standard, which means it can record stuff that's better suited to color grading, but that's a separate upgrade, so you have to buy it for about $100. Here we have a headphone jack, which is good if you want to monitor the sound level of your recording, so you make sure that you're not getting popping sounds. There's two microphones, by the way, built in right here on the sides, so it's stereo. Also have a microphone as well. It's not XLR. I do believe you can actually get an attachment that will add XLR inputs to the camera, but again, those tend to be a bit expensive, so probably won't bother with that. You can, however, put a microphone with a jack in it. You also have well, a lot of buttons on the side. Like a lot of these, apart from the ones that are specifically made for a certain purpose, they are configurable. So if you see an FN button, you can actually get it to be pretty much anything you want it to. You've got your zooms here, you got your recordings, you got your... Well, you can get this to do pretty much anything you want. Have multiple styles of shooting, like this for video and this for photos. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention what kind of video this thing can do. It can do 4K video. Like, it can absolutely do 4K video, even in cinematic 4K video at 24 frames a second and normal 4K at 30 frames a second. And it can, yeah, it does have a sort of crop factor compared to 1080p, but it should do well. It can also record the 1080p at 120 frames a second, also 1080p at 200 megabits per second, so there's going to be a lot of detail in that. You also have ND filters. These will let you sort of drop down the amount of light so you can better capture a scene. It's got a quarter, 16th, 64th, and auto. And you also have these extra function buttons so you can get them to do pretty much anything you want to. By default, I believe they are set to actually record slow motion or something. Or no, I think it's smooth zoom in, smooth zoom out, and slow motion. You can also just zoom and focus with the rings, which have kind of a nice feeling to them. They're not physical rings, like they don't physically connect to the apparatus itself. They're digital controls, so they may not be super duper accurate, but hey, it's enough for me. Like I said, these are the microphones. I just know exactly where they are. There's also a built-in flash here. I wonder if I can... Yeah, this is it. This is the built-in flash. Currently, because it's not powered on, it will not actually light anything. Let's pump it down and hope I don't break anything. I have bought insurance for this in case I break it. I really hope I don't break it. On the other side, we have the battery, which where I'm gonna pop it in. The hole mounting for the tripod. On this side, we also have... oh, this is the SD card. It only takes one SD card. I was hoping it would take two, but no, it's just one. The higher-end models do support two SD cards at the same time, but those tend to cost around double what this costs, so I'm gonna be okay with that. It also has support for a remote, like a dedicated kind of remote, like it does have a thing here, but it also comes with an app, so you can get an app on your phone that will let you control this in detail. So I can finally just place it down in front of me and just control everything via the smartphone, will not have to go to it and press record, and I forget I actually press record and go press it again and stop the recording by accident. And if you're hearing some noise on the background, it's because I have an audience today and it's slowly trying to sneak away. Now and then it just sat down again on the couch. Okay, hopefully the condensation will wear off and there won't be any grime on the lens. Kind of wish they shipped it with a cap on so it would be you know, a bit more hygienic. Also some bits here in the plastic, but I hope those aren't a problem. So I'm probably gonna end the video now and show you some footage with it when it sort of cools down. You can also use the viewfinder too. Like if you don't want to use the screen, you can use the viewfinder for a better kind of sensation of exactly what you're shooting. It's it's a Panasonic FZ2000. It's a camera we've been wanting to have for a very long time, and now we have it, and it's probably gonna be glorious. And probably you can't actually see it, but there's still the Christmas tree around here. Sort of didn't manage to get it into focus, but it's still there. So yeah, this is gonna be the camera we're gonna make videos with through the course of the rest of the existence of the channel, because I really don't envision us spending on another camera, because it would be a bit too expensive in the long run, unless we get really rich, in which case we'll just buy gold-plated yacht and go crazy. So I'm gonna see you again with new shows. Well, I think this may be the first show you see of the year, I think. That or one of the playouts, or one of the history of gaming through the years kind of thing scenario, which I'm gonna get to actually this week. So again, not sure when you're going to see this. Hopefully it's the first show you see of the year, in which case, Happy New Year and welcome to 2018, the year when we can actually afford stuff that will maybe make the shows a bit better. And now I just hope I manage to use this without breaking it. So I'm going to see you again with a show each day up until the 29th of December. Though I think I'm going to take a break in August for a couple of days. We'll see. So stick around, enjoy, and again, thank you very much to everybody that supported us on Steam, on Patreon, everybody who liked our videos, everybody that sent us money on PayPal too. Like you can actually do that. And thank you to the people that did that. I'm sorry I skipped over you the first times. And stick around, because we're going to make some neat stuff with this camera. Hopefully, in case I don't break it. Goodbye.